So I'm not a professional, but I built this round frame for painting, so I'm gonna go through step by step how I actually made it. So, hello all, here's a painting and it's round. This painting is a reproduction of an actual paint on wood on a round table. And I asked a professional painter to do a reproduction to basically have it in my living room. It has particularly sentimental value. I will not go into the detail, but the idea here is I want to frame it. And of course, it's almost impossible to have it framed because it's huge and it's round. So I decided to just build my own. So let's see how we're gonna do this. It's 35 inches diameter. Okay, so the idea is to basically create an octagon to make the circle. I just use this as a template and I basically mark it, do the cut, and basically pile them up. So for the female part, I didn't have any issue with the router bit. You go through and it's not a problem, but then for the male part, to prevent the splitting on the edge because of the router bit, basically you create a groove with the saw, and basically the router bits will remove the extra and you have a perfect male matching the female on the other side. So here's the basics for the octagon, and you can see male and female is gonna lock into each other's, and I'm gonna glue it all together. So there's one here, and I will put the other one together after. So while the two pieces are gluing and drying, I'm clamping it to make sure they're all flat. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then. Okay, so the octagon is put together. Now, of course, I need a center to be able to do the circle. So, see, I put plywood on the bottom so I can have an idea where to cut it and where to put it together, so the circle will be nice and flat for the rest of the octagon. Okay, so I used the router to make a groove here, as you can see, and that way cut the piece and it's somewhat fit there. So now I have a center, I just have to assemble it together so I can get the circle out of this. For this, I just have to basically align all each of these, and guess what? Not too bad. So I centered the router basically like this. So as you can see, I removed a lot of material, so the last pass will be easier. So here we go, I finished doing the cut and I have a nice round now. So now I have things adjusted for the internal circle. So this was about previous hole, this is new hole, and it's 2.5 inches difference, which is going to be that distance here. So here we go. So I finished the internal cut all the way, except one tiny little one, because I don't want to, if it gets loose, the router may vibrate and just destroy the inside. So just have a little bit, and now here we go, we're good. And here we go, that's it. So this is a scrap, and this is the actual frame I'm gonna use, and this is gonna be the next piece I'm gonna do. It's gonna be slightly different size, as you're gonna see why later on. And basically I'm gonna use my router to cut the inside just like I did with this one, and I'm gonna reinstall the other one, so just reuse the same thing since they were identical to start with. So let's go. So I determined the distance I need to have the inside circle. Well, actually it's the inside frame, but this is gonna be the outside edge, which I want to be exactly to be 17.5, so the whole diameter would be 35 exactly for the painting I want to put on it. So I just reusing the same piece I used earlier. I just find a new center for my 17.5 distance between this edge to this center. You just do the math according to all the marking you did before. It's very straightforward, and I'm gonna start cutting again. So here we go, the second one. The outside cut is made. This is exactly 35 inches, like I wanted to. So now I'm gonna leave 2.5 inches inside, and I'm gonna do the inside cut, and I will have my 2 pieces for my internal frame done. So I assembled, not yet actually, but I'm going to put the 2 circles together, align them, and using clamp to make sure they're perfectly aligned. So it's screwed all over, all around. Now as you can see, that thing is very robust. It's not going to go anywhere. I can tight the canvas of a painting very tight, and it's not going to affect anything. It's not going to warp. We're good to go. As you can see, the canvas is going to be attached on this edge. I softened it up, so hopefully the canvas doesn't crack when I basically tie it up and tack it on the side here. Shall see. I'm going to put a layer of oil to protect it over time, hopefully, and after that I will start installing the actual painting. So as you can see, I started mounting the canvas. I first space them kind of far away each other's, but then I double them up. Now of course it's a circular frame, so this is going to be unavoidable, but as I said, I'm going to make an external frame around that's going to cover this, and it's going to like expand the sun, so I'm going to build something around here to hide that. So this is why I don't spend too much time really making it perfect, because it's almost impossible. So keep on going. So the paint is finally mounted on the internal frame, and as you can see, this is what it looks like on the side. So now I have the external frame that I need to finish basically, and after that I'll be able to mount it on the wall. A big white wall here, it's going to be there. So now I'm going to do the external frame, but I'm going to do it in oak, and therefore I need to minimize the scrap because well, first it's expensive, and I also want to make sure that I do it right. So as you can see, I did this time a dodecagon, which is 12-sided polygon, and the angle for the cut is going to be at 15 degrees here. So to make sure I minimize the scrap again, I basically decide what's the distance of the 2 circles I'm going to do, one in green and one in red, and that way I can just do the math and get 12 pieces of the green and 12 pieces of the red, assemble them and do the cut, and that's pretty much it. So 15-degree angle, and I did the cuts for 12 of one side. This is going to be a smaller circle, and 12 of the other side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate one piece of wood with another piece of wood, so there's going to be so the circle doesn't look like one color in one side and another color on the other side. It's going to be alternated. So I'll do the same thing just in case the grain is very different from one piece of wood to another. I'm going to try to prevent aesthetic issues. So I need to glue this together. I'm not going to do glue this time because I don't want to have an issue I had with internal circles. So I'm just going to press them very hard, but as you can see, the angle doesn't allow me to press them very hard, so I had to come up with a way to do it. So clamp the first piece, clamp the second piece, then make sure they're perfectly aligned right there in the bottom, and then I'm using the third one here, another one here, so that's total of 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 clamps, just to make that little glue point So I'm gonna have to do this 24 times. It's gonna take me forever, but that's what it is. So it's a slow process, as you can see, because I need to glue them one at a time. This is 4 pieces glued together. I just glued in the middle. I'm doing the other one now, and eventually I'll glue these two together. So it's taking some time, of course. I hope to get the 2 circles done within a week or so, if I do 3 or 4 glue points a day when I come back from work. I finished both 12-sided shape here. I have 1 and 2. I put something in the middle to basically create a circle, and now that I have my center, I can basically flip it around, and once I put the router, I'll be able to trace again my circles. So I did the primary cut on the outside for the 2 circles here. There's 1 and 2, and I also use different bits to basically round up and give an interesting shape for the profile, so it's not too bulky on the 2 steps, as you can see. I'm taking advantage that I have still my centers for the 2 circle to line them up, so that way, as you can see, they're all in the same distance on the sides. So I'll take advantage of it and flip it over and make my marks and pilot holes so they're perfectly lined, so when both the centers are gone, I can still line them up exactly the way they should be. So after finally doing a quick sanding and nice rounded edges, I'm doing the final cut for the outside circle, and as you can see, I'm almost there. This is a bit amusing, and I'm gonna keep on going until I finish, and then I will finish with the last one. After that it will be sanding, staining, oiling, and I'm done. So I'm done with all the cut and the sanding. As you can see now, it's nice and smooth. You can see, so this is gonna be eventually tacked together. It's not gonna move. Try to minimize the space between the painting and the outside, and that's pretty much it at this point. It's gonna be staining, and that's it. So this is a scrap left from the oak that I had. So this is the wheel left after the cut with my center and the piece that I actually gonna use. And you can see it really minimized the scrap. I mean, I could have done a better job here, but overall I'm kinda happy about it. Staining is done, and you can see the difference of before and after the stain. And now the 2 rings are basically ready to go. I'm just going to oil them once the stain is cured, and I'm getting there. So this is it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 circles all together, and I'm about to basically glue it together. Not glue it, but screw it to the bottom, and it's ready to hang after that. I have little marks here to be able to hang it up on the wall, usually the lip here. Framed. This is it. I'm done now. As you can see, that's the final product, ready to be hanged on the wall. And this is the final result.